Ladies and gentlemen, you want to know the secret to success? It's simple focus on you. You see, we spend so much time looking at what others are doing, comparing ourselves, trying to keep up with the next person, the next trend, the next thing. But the truth is, the only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. Every single day, you have the opportunity to get up and choose to focus on you, your growth, your strength, your vision. It doesn't matter how many obstacles are in front of you. It doesn't matter how many people doubt you. It doesn't matter how many doors are closed. The only thing that matters is that you show up. That you look yourself in the mirror and say, I'm not done yet. I'm still fighting. You will face challenges. You will have setbacks. But it's in those moments that your focus on yourself, your belief in your ability to push through will define you. The road won't always be smooth. The path won't always be clear. But as long as you stay true to who you are, as long as you focus on what you can control, there is nothing that can stop you. Don't waste your time looking at what someone else has. Don't waste your time thinking, I wish I was there. If you're not where you want to be yet, that's okay. Stay focused on your journey. Keep your eyes on your goals. Every little step forward is progress. Every failure is just a lesson on how to do better. The power is in your hands. The strength is in your heart. The difference between where you are now and where you want to be is your focus, your effort, and your commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. So get up. Every single day, get up and focus on you. Because when you focus on yourself, on your dreams, on your growth, on your purpose, there's nothing that can stop you. Focus on yourself. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in what everyone else is doing. We scroll through social media, watch the success stories of others, and get distracted by their achievements. But here's the reality, none of that matters. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. It's not about where someone else is in their journey or what they've accomplished. It's about you and your own path. You have everything you need right now to start growing, and the first step is to shift your attention inward. When you focus on yourself, you begin to realize that your potential is limitless. You stop letting the noise of the world dictate your progress. You learn to ignore the distractions that pull you away from your own goals. It's all about taking responsibility for where you are in life and understanding that your progress depends on your choices. Each day you wake up, you have a decision to make. Are you going to stay stuck, or are you going to focus on moving forward? It's in those moments when you take responsibility, when you turn your attention to your own growth, that real transformation begins. But focusing on yourself doesn't mean being selfish. It doesn't mean ignoring others or becoming isolated. It means giving yourself the time, the space, and the energy to develop. It means taking care of your mind and body, prioritizing your own well-being, and taking the time to sharpen your skills. When you focus on yourself, you stop looking for validation from others. You stop trying to measure your worth against someone else's. The validation you need, the confidence you crave comes from within. When you focus on you, you begin to trust in your own abilities, and that trust becomes your greatest asset. In life, you will face obstacles, many of them, in fact. There will be days when things aren't going right, when you feel like giving up, when it seems easier to follow someone else's path instead of creating your own. But the true strength comes in how you respond to those challenges. When you focus on yourself, you don't let the setbacks define you. Instead, you see them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to get better. Every obstacle is a lesson in disguise, and the more you learn to overcome, the stronger and more resilient you become. Those difficult moments are the ones that will build your character and prepare you for what lies ahead. Your journey is unique to you, and it's easy to get lost in comparing it to others. But there's no need to rush. The race isn't to the swift, it's to those who keep moving. Don't worry about how fast someone else is moving or how far they've gone. The important thing is that you keep taking steps forward, no matter how small they seem. Every day is a chance to improve, to push yourself just a little bit further, and to get closer to the person you are meant to become. You may stumble along the way, but that's okay. It's all part of the process. Failure is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of trying. Every failure brings you one step closer to success because it teaches you what doesn't work. And that knowledge is priceless. Keep learning, keep pushing, keep improving. When you focus on yourself, you realize that failures are not roadblocks, they're stepping stones. Your power lies within you. The decisions you make, the actions you take, and the focus you bring to each day determine your success. No one else can do the work for you. The life you want, the success you desire, the happiness you seek, all of it is within your control. It's about looking inward, staying focused, and trusting yourself to keep moving forward. When you focus on yourself, you give yourself the greatest gift of all, the ability to create your own future. It's easy to lose sight of your own path when you're constantly measuring yourself against others. In the age of social media and the constant bombardment of other people's successes, it's all too tempting to compare your progress with theirs. But what you must realize is that your journey is uniquely yours. The only person you should be competing with is the person you were yesterday. Stop trying to keep up with the world around you and instead focus on your own growth. By focusing on yourself, you take back control of your narrative, and that's where true power lies. When you focus on yourself, you stop seeking external validation. The need to impress others, to get their approval, or to make sure you appear successful in their eyes fades away. That's a form of freedom you don't realize you need until you experience it. You realize that your worth isn't tied to likes, comments, or how many followers you have. It's not about fitting into someone else's mold of success or living up to societal expectations. It's about you defining success on your own terms. And success, in this sense, means becoming the best version of yourself, not an imitation of someone else. Focusing on yourself means taking the time to invest in your own growth. Growth requires discipline, self-reflection, and effort. It's about setting your own goals and putting in the work day in and day out to achieve them. It's not always easy. There will be times when you feel frustrated, when it feels like progress is slow or even non-existent. But that's when the true test of focus happens. It's easy to stay committed when things are going well, but real focus shows up when you're facing challenges. It's in those moments that the choice to keep moving forward is crucial. Every time you get back up, every time you push through the tough times, you're building resilience and character. One of the most important aspects of focusing on yourself is understanding that progress isn't always linear. Life doesn't work in a straight line. You won't always feel motivated, you won't always have the energy, and sometimes you'll wonder if it's worth it. But that's when you need to dig deep and trust the process. Trust that the work you're putting in today will pay off tomorrow, even if you can't see it yet. Each step, even the small ones, adds up to something greater. In fact, the real growth happens in the moments you feel like giving up. When you focus on yourself, you begin to see that failure is not the enemy. Failure is simply a part of success. You don't fail when you fall down, you fail when you don't get back up. Every failure is a lesson, and every lesson brings you closer to your goal. The more you learn to embrace setbacks as part of the journey, the stronger you become. It's through those difficult moments that your focus sharpens and you become more equipped to face what's ahead. Focusing on yourself also means taking care of your physical, mental, and emotional well-being. You can't give your best if you're not at your best. It's essential to make time for self-care, to recharge, to reflect, and to cultivate a mindset that supports growth. When you're in a healthy place physically and mentally, everything else starts to align. Your work improves, your relationships deepen, and your clarity sharpens. This holistic approach to focusing on yourself ensures that you don't just chase success, you chase it with a foundation that can sustain it. The power is in your hands. You are the architect of your future, and every decision you make today shapes the life you will live tomorrow. When you take the time to focus on yourself, when you invest in your growth, and when you commit to becoming the best version of yourself, there is nothing that can stop you. You hold the keys to your own success, and it starts with your focus. Stay true to your journey, trust the process, and keep moving forward. The world is waiting for the version of you that's unapologetically focused on becoming the best. We often look at others and think we need to be where they are in order to succeed, but the truth is that comparison will only slow you down. Everyone's path is different, and while it might seem like others are moving faster or achieving more, you have to realize that the only real competition is the person you were yesterday. Focusing on yourself means freeing yourself from the pressure to meet anyone else's expectations or to race against their timeline. It's about trusting in your own journey and understanding that your unique path is just as valid and valuable as anyone else's. When you focus on yourself, you stop chasing after the things that don't truly matter. It's so easy to get distracted by the outward success of others, the car they drive, the house they live in, or the vacations they take. But none of that is the measure of real success. True success isn't about what you have, it's about who you become along the way. The more you focus on developing your own skills, pursuing your own passions, and aligning with your own values, the less you'll care about what others are doing. You will realize that your life doesn't need to fit anyone else's definition of success because the one you are creating for yourself is enough. Focusing on yourself requires a level of discipline and commitment that's not always easy. You're going to face moments of doubt and frustration. You're going to feel like you're not moving as fast as you want or like things aren't going as planned. But that's when you need to dig in and remember that this is part of the process. Growth is not always immediate or easy to see. You may not get the results you're looking for right away, but that doesn't mean the work you're putting in isn't valuable. In fact, the real growth often happens in the times when things feel stagnant, when you're pushing through the tough days, when you're forcing yourself to keep going even when it seems like nothing is changing. Those are the moments that will shape you into someone capable of achieving great things. When you focus on yourself, you're able to become more aware of your own strengths and weaknesses. You stop looking outside of yourself for answers, and instead you start developing a deeper understanding of what makes you unique, what drives you, and where your passions lie. This kind of self-awareness is the foundation for real progress because it allows you to play to your strengths and work on your weaknesses in a way that supports your personal growth. It gives you the clarity to make better decisions, to move forward with confidence, and to trust that you are on the right path. Another critical aspect of focusing on yourself is learning to embrace failure. Failure isn't something to be feared, but something to be understood. It's easy to get discouraged when things don't go as planned, but the reality is that failure is an essential part of success. Every time you fail, you learn. You learn what works, what doesn't, and what you need to do differently moving forward. If you're afraid to fail, you'll never take the risks necessary to grow. But when you focus on yourself, you learn to embrace failure as part of the journey. You understand that it's not the end of the road, but rather a chance to get back up, adjust your approach, and keep moving forward with more knowledge and experience than you had before. When you choose to focus on yourself, you choose to take control of your own narrative. You're no longer living in reaction to the world around you. You're living on purpose, with intention, and with clarity. You start realizing that your time is precious and that every moment spent focusing on your growth, your health, and your future is a moment well spent. You stop letting external circumstances or the opinions of others dictate your worth or your success. The most powerful thing you can do is to commit to your own growth, trust the process, and allow yourself to become the person you were always meant to be. It's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent, staying focused, and showing up every single day for yourself. In a world that's constantly changing with distractions everywhere and a never-ending stream of information, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters yourself. Too often we get caught up in comparing our progress to others. We look at someone's achievements and wonder why we're not there yet. We scroll through social media and feel inadequate because it seems like everyone is living a better life, making more money, or reaching milestones faster than we are. But here's the truth: you don't need to be like anyone else. The only person you need to be better than is the person you were yesterday. When you focus on yourself, you realize that your journey is unique. You stop comparing, and instead you begin to appreciate how far you've come and how much potential lies ahead of you. Focusing on yourself means taking the time to invest in your own growth and well-being. It's about recognizing that your value doesn't depend on the approval of others. When you're constantly looking for external validation, whether it's through likes on social media, praise from your peers, or the approval of your family, you give away your power. The truth is that only you can define your worth. Focusing on yourself means learning to validate your own achievements, no matter how small they may seem. Every step you take forward is progress, and every setback is a lesson. It's about building a mindset that is not easily shaken by outside opinions or circumstances. The more you focus on yourself, the more you understand that your true power lies in how you respond to the world around you, not in what the world thinks of you. But focusing on yourself isn't always easy. It requires a level of commitment and discipline that many people aren't willing to put in. It means making the tough decision to stop wasting time on things that don't serve you. It means saying no to distractions, to things that keep you from becoming the person you're meant to be. And it means being willing to invest in your future even when it feels difficult or uncomfortable. The path to self-improvement is not always smooth. There will be days when you feel like giving up, when you wonder if all the effort is worth it. But this is exactly where your focus on yourself will pay off. The key to overcoming those moments is knowing that growth doesn't happen overnight. Success is built in the quiet, consistent actions you take every day. It's in the mornings when you get up early to work on your goals. It's in the nights when you push through the fatigue and keep working. It's in the quiet moments of self-reflection when you realize how far you've come, even if it's not visible to others yet. Focusing on yourself also requires a mindset shift. Instead of looking at others and feeling envious of their progress, look at them as a source of inspiration. Their success doesn't take away from yours. In fact, their achievements can fuel your own growth. When you focus on yourself, you understand that their journey is different from yours, and you don't need to be in competition with anyone but yourself. You start celebrating your own wins, no matter how small, because you know that every victory is a step closer to your larger goals. And the more you celebrate your own progress, the more motivated you become to keep moving forward. There will be times when you fall short, when things don't go as planned, and when you feel like quitting. But that's exactly when you need to stay focused. The greatest growth often happens in the most challenging moments. It's when you feel like giving up but choose to keep going that you build resilience. It's when things get tough, but you refuse to let it define you, that you discover just how strong you really are. When you focus on yourself, you understand that setbacks are not failures. They are simply part of the process, part of what makes you stronger and more prepared for what's ahead. By focusing on yourself, you learn to embrace these moments, knowing that they are temporary and that your focus, effort, and determination will eventually lead you to where you want to be. It's not the failures that define you, it's how you rise from them that shapes your future. Every time you get back up, you're one step closer to your goals and one step closer to becoming the best version of yourself. In life, we often get caught up in the whirlwind of other people's expectations and judgments. We look at someone else's achievements and wonder why we're not there yet. We see their success and think we're falling behind, not realizing that their path is not the same as ours. The truth is, comparison is one of the most dangerous things you can do to yourself. It takes your focus off your own journey and causes you to lose sight of what truly matters. The most important thing is to focus on yourself. Stop looking at what others are doing or how fast they're going. The only person you need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday, and when you make that choice, something extraordinary happens. You begin to realize your own potential. Focusing on yourself means recognizing that your progress, no matter how small, is meaningful. It's easy to think that if you're not reaching the same milestones as others, you're failing, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Every single day that you make an effort to grow, to improve, to learn is a step forward. Sometimes those steps are barely noticeable, but over time they accumulate into something powerful. It's not about reaching a specific destination, it's about consistently moving in the direction of your goals. Focusing on yourself helps you realize that your success is personal, and it doesn't need to be measured against anyone else's timeline. Just because someone else is ahead of you doesn't mean you're behind. It simply means they're on their path and you're on yours. When you focus on yourself, you begin to understand that growth requires patience and perseverance. No great achievement comes without sacrifice. No dream is realized without effort. And no matter how hard you try to escape challenges, they're part of the process. Focusing on yourself means accepting that things won't always be easy. There will be days when you feel tired, when you question whether it's all worth it, or when everything seems to be going wrong. But it's during these times that your commitment to yourself truly matters. It's in the moments when you feel like giving up, but you choose to keep going anyway, that you make the most progress. Success isn't about what you do when things are easy, it's about what you do when everything feels stacked against you. When you focus on yourself, you learn how to face adversity and use it to fuel your determination. Focusing on yourself also means learning to set boundaries. Too often, we allow others' opinions and demands to dictate how we spend our time and energy. We take on tasks and responsibilities that aren't in alignment with our goals simply to please others or avoid conflict. But when you focus on yourself, you understand that your time is valuable. You learn to say no to things that aren't serving your purpose, and you prioritize the things that matter most. Setting boundaries allows you to protect your energy and focus on what truly contributes to your growth. It helps you stay clear of distractions, and it keeps you aligned with your personal mission. The more you focus on yourself, the more you realize that it's okay to prioritize your own needs over others, as long as you're not hurting anyone in the process. You can't give your best if you're constantly running on empty, and setting boundaries is a way to preserve your energy for the things that really matter. When you focus on yourself, you also develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. You begin to understand your strengths, weaknesses, and the areas in which you need to improve. You stop seeking validation from others because you know who you are and what you're capable of. This awareness helps you make better decisions because you're no longer being swayed by the opinions of others or influenced by external pressures. You trust yourself and your judgment, and that trust is the foundation for true confidence. Focusing on yourself gives you the clarity you need to take bold steps, to move forward with confidence, and to stay true to your goals even when it feels difficult. As you continue to focus on yourself, you will encounter challenges, but you will also find the strength to face them. Every setback, every moment of doubt is simply an opportunity to grow stronger. When you focus on yourself, you understand that these moments are not failures, but stepping stones that will take you closer to your goals. The more you focus on yourself, the more you realize that the power to create the life you want is entirely within your control. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect circumstances. It's about deciding right now that you're going to put in the work, trust the process, and never give up on your own potential.